It's the Slapz.
We gon' hit you with
And Trapz radio podcast.
Let's get it.
Powered by the Slap God, C. Austin, the DJ.
Now, I want to take it back for a minute, man, to this Arsenio shit, because I want to know about the feedback. What was the feedback y'all got after y'all did the Arsenio shit? Like, when you came back to Detroit, you know what I'm saying, for the first time after all that shit, what was it like? You know what I'm saying? When you got back around everybody, when you seen your family and everybody, or was it like anything, or was it not like nothing? You know what I'm saying?
I will say this. I've always been a family-oriented person. I didn't want to tell this story, but shit, I'm on here now. I can tell this story. The only person I ever wanted to impress with this music shit was my pops, because he was the only one that object for me doing music. Originally, they wanted me to go to school to be a lawyer, and I had the good grades. I could read and I can argue, and I was like, I want to do this music stuff, and my pops was always like, yeah, but that stuff a dime a dozen. You don't want to try to put yourself in that situation. And every time once I got my record deal, he was...
He gave you that look when he said it. He always gave you that look.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, you know, that's nice, but this and that. So I remember we on this big tour. Every city, every arena I'm performing at, I'm calling my pops. And he's like, that's good, son, but... Because he gave me a year. He's like, if you don't do nothing in a year, then consider school. And so within that year, I got a record deal. I'm on tour. I got my song going #1 on video charts and stuff. And my dad was like, "That's nice, son. That's pretty good, but still consider school." So Arsenio Hall. What happens when you do Arsenio Hall? You do it live. They record it, and then they show it later on the East Coast. So by the time everybody's seen in Detroit, I'm back at the hotel in my suite. I'm on the phone with my moms and everybody, and they turning it on. So when it come on TV, I'm hearing everybody. It's like they did a watch party. You're hearing everybody screaming in the back, "That's my baby!" Blah blah blah.
Right.
And so
everybody excited.
Excited. My mama would say, "Your dad want to talk to you," and I'm like, I'm on a zone right now. I don't feel like hearing this Debbie Downer ass shit. You know, I want to bask in this moment. So they put my pops on the phone, and my pops said, "Son, I think you might got something with this music stuff, man. Congrats." I said, "Shit, I could have jumped through that phone and hugged." That was it.
The last confirmation you needed.
That was the confirmation I needed. But as far as, it wasn't no story like we get home and, you know, fans is waiting on us at the airport. I was always incognito. We was low key. We'd be in town for a minute, shoot back out. We just hung out more so in California, but like when we came back with our hit record to do Joe Louis Arena, shit, the whole audience knew our lyrics. It was over, man. I was like...
Now, speaking of that, Fing, talk to me about that. What was it like, first and foremost, having a #1 song, you know what I'm saying, and then just that whole experience? You know, not a lot of artists can say they've had that moment. So, you know what I'm saying? But you are one of those artists who has had that moment. So talk to the people about that, man. Let them know what that was like, if you don't mind.
From my perspective, I never took credit for it. I was always like big up in Ritlin and Snipe, because the song that went with #1 was Bang Bang Boogie. So when they was like, #1, Bang Bang Boogie, and that shit would come on the radio, I just look at them like, man, congratulations, man. You know, you got a #1 song out here, nigga. He was like, nigga, you in a group too? But I was big up in them.
You know,
that's just
what
the
situation was, so you wasn't on the song.
No, but it wasn't even about that. I felt a part of it, but I was always, it's kind of like when we in the studio, we giving each other high fives. I'm bigging up in them. I'm not caring about what I'm getting out of this, or I'm getting some type of notoriety. I'm like, and they would do the same to me. Like, man, you feel like you're a star. I'm like, I ain't no damn star. We just doing this. So to live it, you know, and we've actually lived where fans is chasing our tour bus on the freeway. They almost getting in the car crashes, speeding down the freeway, chasing our tour bus. I remember we throwing a tape out to one of the fans. They screaming, and I remember us going to the Fox Hill Mall in Los Angeles.
Fox Hill, L.A.
And we was going to get some gear for a performance. We had to perform at Prince Club, and we had nothing new to wear, so we went to the mall. And one girl looked at us. We went by. Another girl looked at us, and they're whispering to each other. And next thing I know is a crowd of girls chasing us, and then we had to go. Security had to rush us into the store, into the back of a shoe store.
Trying to make sure it was y'all and shit.
Yeah, like, oh, I know that's them. I know. Yeah, so even with all those experiences, I stayed humble, man. I was always like, because Snipe used to always somehow get caught up with the girls and they'd tear this nigga's clothes off of him. And I'm like, how the fuck did you get away from security to where you even got your clothes torn? That's because he wasn't listening to security. So at the end of the day, those experiences are cool, but you know me, I was just a player, though.
It's the Slapz.
We gon' hit you with
And Trapz Radio Podcast.
Let's get it.
Powered by the Slap God. C. Austin, the DJ.